I have been telling you about the trend of the 4-day work week, and I've told you that I believe it is coming. I don't know to what level the 4-day work week will be adopted in the United States because it has a whole bunch of logistical nightmares attached to it. It is not a one-size-fit-all. It will not work for some companies. It will be a disaster, and it will work well for others. And that I am assured of. I'm assured of that, but when it's going to be adopted, to what level, not sure. But so more update on this. CNBC has got an article here that cites a new study on 4-day work week as now this becomes a topic that is out there. And I don't think these results are going to surprise you that much. But there's a lot of good data here. So let's dive in. Now remember, as you're watching this or you're listening to this, feel free to give us your comment, share. Let's get the conversation started. An overwhelming majority of workers say they'd be interested in a 4-day work week. Duh, no surprise there. It's 87%. This is a new survey from Morning Consult. 87% said they'd be interested. Okay, I'll kick the tires. Tell me more. Interested in a 4-day work week. 82% believe that widespread adoption in the U.S. would be successful. I think that's too positive. I don't think that the 4-day work week will be widespread at first. I just don't. And I'll tell you why I believe that. I'll go ahead and dive into this. If you look at where we are on remote work right now, remote work was heavily adopted in the pandemic, coming out of the pandemic, but now it is swung back to pre-pandemic levels. And even big-time companies that were pro-remote work, and I'll talk about that later in the program, they're pulling back. So that's why I don't know that the 4-day work week is truly going to be widely, just across the board, 99%. I don't know. I don't know if it ever gets there. We'll see. 75% of workers say they'd be interested in a shorter work week if remote work is allowed all or nearly all of the time. So make sure you understand, there's the one condition. I'm in if I'm remote almost all of the time. That's 75%. 51% support a shorter work week if coupled with no remote work at all. So now that's interesting too. So 51% said, I'll do it. If we say no remote work, which is fascinating to me. Now, keep in mind what a 4-day work week as it is now being proposed and studied is a 4-day work week, 10-hour days. So you have a longer day. 93% of millennials and 88% of Gen Xers lead the way in being interested in a shorter work week. No surprise there. They crave flexibility, floating freedom. That's what their life has been like. They have less time in the workforce in the traditional manner that we know it. Baby boomers show the least amount of interest, but 72% still favor it. Not surprising here. Because when you poll somebody and you ask this question, hey, I'm going to give you one extra day off, they don't even have to process that. It's just like, sure, I'm in. There's no thought process. They're not thinking through how that changes their workflow. They're not thinking through how that affects their stress, expectations. They're not thinking through that. They're just going, I only work 4 days a week? Yeah, sure. Where do I sign? That's how that goes. So interestingly enough, this is the new conversation. No demographic group reported interest and confidence levels below 70%. So there's overwhelming popularity for this idea for the reasons I just gave you. It's like, okay, sure. I'm in. I'll figure it out. I don't care how stressful it is. I don't care what it does to me. They're just thinking surface only. Sure, 4 days a week. I'm in. I'll do it. The study also found that, 4 in 5 millennials say they're always, often, or sometimes too tired after work to enjoy things in their personal lives. Now, this to me is the bigger piece of the data. This is just mentioned briefly in the CNBC article as one of the findings of the study. But to me, it's the most important piece of data. Because I think it's probably, now they don't give us in this article any other demographic in the workforce other than millennials. But it's across the board. Now I want you to just think about this. 4 out of 5 millennials say, I'm often too tired after work to enjoy things in their personal lives. Now, I want to really unpack that for a second. I'm going somewhere with this. Because if you're in a leadership position and you have any kind of influence or say over workflow, work arrangements like a 4-day work week and things like this, and you are in a leadership position and you lead millennials, and we're just leaving it at millennials. It's the only piece of data I have to go off of. But this would be probably very true of Gen Xers and boomers alike. Too tired. Often they are too tired after work to enjoy things in their personal life. Now let's just process that. What do you enjoy doing after work? I mean, just fill in the blank. I'll tell you what I enjoy. I enjoy catching up with my wife and kids to see how their day goes. We got a nice little rhythm. Of course, I got 3 teenagers, so I get about 6 words out of each kid, but still, I like catching up, at least thinking I'm catching up. I like getting caught up with my wife. What's going on? I like a little bit of just rest, catching up, reconnecting with everybody. I enjoy watching sports at night. I enjoy watching the occasional show. I enjoy reading. Almost every night I'm on my back porch. Unless it's really miserable out there, I'm reading at least 1 to 2 chapters a night out of a book that's challenging me, and I'm taking notes. Alex can attest. If you see books on my desk with sticky notes sticking out all the time, that's what I do. I read, I make notes, I put a sticky note in there, and I come back to it later. I enjoy that. I enjoy a good cigar. I enjoy a good cocktail with my friends, my wife. I enjoy pickleball. I enjoy golf. I'm just telling you my list, and I know I'm boring you. But I'm walking through the things that I enjoy doing. And if I am often too tired to do any of those things, this ought to be a massive fire alarm in your life. If you're just walking in the house and you are disengaged to the point that you are so mentally, emotionally, and physically exhausted that you can't do those things, you need to change locations. You need to change the type of work you do. You need to wake up and go, life is too short and too precious to live this way. Now, you start running through this, and my brain goes deeper. If the person is too tired for this, how much hypertension do they have? Setting you up for a heart attack. How much stress do you have to be that exhausted? That stress, that high, is weakening your immune system. What's happening to your relationships when you're isolated or you're so tired you're just like a big old bullfrog sitting on a log? Bleh, bleh. Life is too short to work this way, folks. Change it.